Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on Order of Operations Introduction Basic. This one is just starting you off with understanding order of operations. And this one's going to be a quick one because you can see I only have 8% left on this battery, but let's ride. So first off, order of operations, what is it? Well, it's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. You'll notice that I wrote these close together. That's because one is not more important than the other. Multiplication, division have equal rank. Yes, exponents are better than them, but multiplication, division, they are of equal importance. So whatever one appears first, that's the one you're going to go with, left to right, that is. Same thing with addition and subtraction. They're not more important than either one. You're not going to do addition before subtraction, only if it appears first. So we're going to look at this particular problem. We have a couple operations going on. Operations are the things that you're doing with math, the different calculations, either subtraction, multiplication, division, as it's suggested in the order of operations. The only thing I'll add is parentheses is technically not like an operation, it's just a structure. So if we're going to look at this problem, we see we have subtraction, S, and we have multiplication. So if we're looking here at their order, we're going to handle multiplication first. This is a little counterintuitive to some people. Like, well, I got to go left to right. No, you don't. So what happens is you end up doing 3 times 7 first, and that's 21. And then you drop down everything else right where it was. Okay, this is something that I really try to emphasize. Everything else around it needs to get dropped down because it has to stay in the same order. What ends up happening is you have this like natural funnel effect as you go from more complex to more simple. Now, why is it that you need to do multiplication before addition and subtraction? That's because it represents repeated addition. So it's a higher order of addition. We could write this another way where it's 3 groups of 7. So 7 plus 7 plus 7. I would need to put this in parentheses because that's all together. But 7 plus 7 plus 7 is the same thing. So I would need to do that first before doing subtraction. If I did 40 minus 3 first and I got 37, I multiplied that by 7, I could just change the problem completely. Instead of 3 groups of 7, I'm doing 7 groups of 37, which is completely different. Okay, so that's why we have to follow the order to keep the answer correct. So I'm going to do 40 minus 21, and that's 19, and that's my final answer, okay? Not the big number before it in the 200s, okay? So 19 is my answer. I'm going to punch it in, and we'll move on to the next problem. Okay, here we go again. Again, we're going to look to see if we have any parentheses, no parentheses. Any exponents, no exponents. Any multiplication or division. Those go together again. Whoops. And as you can see, we have 2 sets of multiplication. Okay, so let's start with multiplication. I'm going to do 6 times 11, 66. But, Mr. West, how do you know where to start? Well, if you have 2 sets of multiplication, just start with the one that's on the left. Okay, and then work your way to the right. That's simple. So I'm going to do 66 first, and I'm going to drop down everything else just like I did before. Okay, so what do I do from here? Well, I still have more multiplication. I'm not done with the multiplication. So I need to do that set of multiplication. 4 times 3, well, that's 12. I'm going to drop down everything else. So 66 minus. Notice how I kept everything in place. This minus is still staying in the middle, still staying in the middle. This 66 times 11 just dropped down in a different form, 66. And now I have 66 minus 12. That is 54, and that's my final answer. I was talking about that funnel effect. You can see if you follow this process, you're going to stay organized, and you're going to get to this final answer relatively easily. So that's 54. I'm going to type that in for my answer. And good. Move on to the next question. Here's an easy one, which is 2-step. We see we have addition and multiplication. Clearly, we're going to start with multiplication. So we have 5 times 10, and that's 50. And we just have to add the 4, and we get 54. That was a nice little freebie. So 54 is our final answer. And this is our last one. Okay, we got some division this time. So again, we're going to follow multiplication division before addition subtraction. So we have to do 85 divided by 7. So if you're not sure, we can always use a little bit of long division. 85 divided by 5. 5 goes in 8 once. That is 5, and we have a remainder of 3. We drop down the 5, and that's 5 goes into 5. 5 goes into 35 7 times, so that answer is 17. Let me erase that. Doesn't go in the box. Come on. Goes 17 and then plus 7. Okay. and I get 24 from my final answer. So I'm going to type in 24, and it looks like I'm all set. So this one was a little bit easier. As the name suggests, it's more basic. Make sure to check out the next one, which is including exponents, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.